I'm the young, aggressive guy that nobody's going to list their home with me. I struggled my first year in the business, but second year in the business became one of the top agents in the office. Third year, one of the top agents in the city. Fifth year, one of the top agents in the state. And by my sixth year, I was one of the top agents in the country. Had nothing to do with work ethic, certainly had nothing to do with education. I dropped out of the eighth grade. It had nothing to do with any of that. It had to do with me learning how to handle marketing and conversion. And as I kind of shot to the top and started doing a couple $1,000,000 a year in commission and only had one buyer's agent helping me, everybody started asking me, how in the world are you doing this? How are you making this kind of money? How are you attracting this business? And that's where I started helping others. So over the past next month is 25 years. I've been coaching agents on here's how I got a little better. Here's how I got a little better. Here's how I became one of the best. And we've started coaching agents on how to do that. So now we help tens of thousands of agents all over the country. Actually, let me show you here. I've got some cool stuff I want to share with you today. I wanted to show you a couple of examples, if I can get all of these examples out of the way, of some of the agents that we're working with here because there nothing makes me prouder than to see them doing very, very well. So we have what we call our GLMC, Greg Luther Millionaire Club Award. And we have tons of agents that are getting this where they have a total net worth of over $1,000,000. That means they paid all of their debts off and now they have a net worth of over $1,000,000. Every single one of them struggled with debt when we first met. And I just have pages and pages of these. Our next event that's coming up here, we have 7 more agents that are going to be walking across the stage. So I'm so excited to see that for everybody. And hopefully you'll be one of those agents too. But that's where I get my fulfillment now. Obviously, I do very well, make millions of dollars, have all kinds of hobbies, things I like to do. But I love to see agents making a massive change in their business, paying off all their debts so they don't become the 99-year-old real estate agent. Just getting by every year, just getting by, just getting by. Debt goes up, debt goes down. Debt goes back up, debt goes back down. They have no real net worth. I know you've seen it. And the reason for that is because they don't really teach that stuff in our industry, right? They don't really teach how do you actually build wealth as a real estate agent. So what I want to do is jump right into it here. Nicole, if you can turn off the chat, any questions you guys have, you can put over in the Q&A, but I want to get started with our training here. So the fact is the easy money is gone, right? The money being free, mortgages are 3%, 4%. That easy money is gone. If you don't change your approach, your income will go down. Now, for an awful lot of agents, they saw that in 2023. I want to point something out. Home prices higher than they've ever been, and your income's not going up higher than it's ever been. That happened in 2022, but it kind of relaxed a little bit in 2023 for an awful lot of agents. And the reason for that is they didn't adjust to what's happening with the real estate market here. So the fact is, the bottom 20% will not improve their business. They won't handle this MLS change correctly. They won't know how they're going to get paid a commission. Like, let me tell you, if you're not doing a lot of business yet, you don't realize it's happening. But when you start working with buyers and you get a buyer that falls in love and wants to see this house, and then you see that it says 0% commission, and then you have to go, or 1% or whatever it is, and then you have to go negotiate with the buyer, and you didn't do that before, and then you lose credibility with all of that, and then they say, maybe I'll just go to the listing agent. If you are not prepared for that, you are leaving the industry bankrupt. We've already seen it happen for the areas that have had these changes over the past 9 to 12 months. Now, here recently, since October 2nd, with NAR changing their rules, obviously we're seeing that in a lot more areas, and it is coming to your area as well. So we will be talking a little bit about that. But I think the 20%, that bottom lower level, that bottom fifth, is not going to improve their business. They'll be gone. As a matter of fact, it might be more likely to be that 25% will be out of the industry. We've already lost over 100,000 agents. That's already to date. I think we will lose another 150,000 this year. So my big prediction for January 1st, 2024, Happy New Year to everybody, by the way, I think we will lose 150,000 members this year. More than that. More than 150,000. Now, that's good news for you. Of course, we can have their lunch. Keep in mind, the 150,000 that are leaving, there's no business there. The reason they're leaving is because they weren't closing deals. So that doesn't mean more business for you. It just means they sucked at generating business. So what I want to talk about today is how you get more for yourself, how you handle this current environment we're dealing with, how you speak with your clients the right way, because the clients know more about this stuff than the realtors do based on what's happening in the media. So there are several things you need to do to improve your income. We'll be talking a lot about that today. And let's first discuss the market. Let's go with a State of the Union address, a State of the Market address. The fact is, the media went nuts about the NAR lawsuit. I'll tell you where I see this the most. So, number one, talking to all of the agents I work with, they are literally listing homes, and then the seller calls upset at the end, the next day, saying, "Well, I didn't know. Well, the people at work told me that I don't have to pay a buyer commission, and we Googled it, and we saw that there was a big NAR lawsuit. It's over $1 billion that you guys have to pay back." You didn't address that at your listing, did you? You better start addressing that. Because even if that seller doesn't know it, the damn people at their office know, and when they Google stuff, it doesn't look good. You have to know how to address this. So I want to talk a little bit about that. And again, the chat is off, so you should have got here earlier. You cannot check in the chat now. The chat will be off for the remainder of our call here, but if you do have questions, you can put it in the Q&A. So back to kind of our state of the market right now. The media went nuts over this NAR lawsuit. I'll tell you another way that I see it. I run an ad on Facebook. Many of you know I'm huge on Facebook. I spend about $100,000 a month on Facebook ads. One of the ads that I run talks about our menu of services. If you're not familiar with that, it's basically a menu that says, here's our 5.5%, here's our 6%, here's our 7%. Here's all the options that you have available. Do you want the good, better, or best? And it kind of eliminates that whole commission structure thing. I've used it for years. I've taught it for 23 years I've taught that. Well, of course, my ads go out not only to real estate agents, but they go out to homeowners too. Just regular people throughout America. Every single day, I get dozens of comments under that ad that says, "I think you better update this. In case you haven't heard, we homeowners don't have to pay buyer's agents anymore. I think you better update this. Here's a link to the NAR lawsuit that says we don't have to pay buyer's agents anymore. What does this mean, 5%? Isn't this a little bit old? I think we only have to pay 1 or 2% now." We know that's not true, but that is damn sure the perception of the general population throughout the United States. They know more now about commission than they ever did before. So you have to be up to date on how you present this, how you handle this. Even if they don't know anything about it, the last thing you want to do is list their home at 5, 6, 7%. And then they go to work tomorrow and they say, "Yeah, we listed our home for sale last night. Well, how much are you paying?" 6%. What? You don't have to do that anymore. Here, let me show you on Google. They call you and they pull the listing because you didn't address it correctly. Now, I still think you will get full boat commissions, but you have to change your presentation. This is not a woe is me. This is not a spreading bad news. It's really bad news for the people that aren't on this call because they aren't going on enough appointments to know how to handle this conversation. So everyone you talk to knows about this. If you're in an elevator, you go downtown for something, you're in an elevator. If you just say, "Yeah, I'm a real estate agent," that person is going to say, "Oh, wow, I heard about you guys' big lawsuit. How are you going to get paid now? I guess you can't get commissions anymore, right?" The general public knows more about it than the agents do, and unfortunately what the general public knows is wrong. But it's what we have to deal with as agents. In 2024, you are going to need to deal with this. This will be even bigger as the appeal process goes through. As you know, the lawsuit has now been appealed. Some say we'll beat it, some say we won't, whatever. But that perception is still there. Why should I pay the buyer's agent? Why wouldn't the buyer pay the buyer's agent? You have to know how to address that. Since that time, the MLS has created rules trying to force people to use the MLS, right? You guys are familiar with a couple of years ago, they created the pocket listing rule. You're not allowed to have pocket listings. You have to put it in the MLS. It's unfair if you don't put it in the MLS. You know why they're doing that? Because the agents don't want the MLS anymore. The top agents that know what they're doing, they'd rather just sell it themselves. They'd prefer not to give away part of their commission. So that rule wouldn't be, I've always joked about, the urinals in men's restrooms. There's always urinal cakes, like for the smell or whatever, and it literally says on there, "Do not eat this." They wouldn't put that on there if somebody hadn't done it, right? They would not put that on there if some idiot didn't eat the urinal cakes. Well, it's the same way here. They wouldn't be creating a pocket listing rule if there weren't so many people that didn't want to use the MLS. Now, if you don't understand marketing, if you don't understand that target marketing approach to have a buyer, find out what they're looking for, send out a marketing campaign to that specific neighborhood so you can get off market or pre market homes for them so they're the only buyer that knows it's for sale. If you don't understand that, you think the MLS is needed. You really think it's important for you. It's better for disclosure. It's better for like all of the stuff that we've believed for all of this time. You might want to ask yourself why they're putting those rules in place. Now, 7 years ago, when we finally found the video, by the way, 7 years ago, while I was on stage in Los Angeles, California, and I said it at multiple locations, I said the MLS will be gone within 10 years. That was 7 years ago. Well, damn it, we're about on track. We're just about there. I think they'll do everything they can to fight for that because let's face it, they make money syndicating this. Zillow depends on it. All the referrals depend on it. They package up our own stuff, market it, and then sell the leads back to us. That's how they fleece realtors in America. So I think they'll always find a way to keep that around. But there is no question the top producers are doing so well, they'd actually prefer not to even utilize the MLS. They can sell properties without it because there are so many ways to go directly to the consumers now. So that is a change that's happening. And again, there's no question that every MLS in the United States, they've created a rule on pocket listings because they're trying to force you to keep them in there. Well, October 2nd of last year, NAR changed their CCP. Okay, so their cooperative agreement, their compensation agreement, has now been changed. Let me show you here. So I'll show you some examples. Let's see if I've got it. I'm sure I've got it here somewhere. Here we go. So they changed their rules to show that you no longer have to pay a commission on the MLS. It used to be anything from, I think it was like $1 to unlimited. Well, now, let me pull up the article here. I think this one's from Housing Wire. NAR allows listing brokers to offer a 0% commission. So you can co-op at $0. Well, how's the buyer's agent going? That's the buyer's agent's problem. I had somebody contact me the other day through Facebook, one of the agents, and said, well, what should I do? Should I just charge them? I charge X dollars up to 10 showings. When it was free, they didn't want you to show 10. They'd say, I want to go directly to listing agent. That's when it was free. They didn't want you to show them 10 homes. What are you talking about? Now you're going to charge them 2% and you'll show them up to 10 homes? What are you talking about? You better change your approach. So NAR is now allowed, they changed their code of ethics based on the lawsuit and everything else. You can see October 6th here was the update on Housing Wire that they now allow a 0% commission in the MLS. And that's why all of the MLSs are starting to change to allow 0%. Some have always allowed it. You might be in an area where you're like, Greg, they've always allowed 0%. Some have, but it's nowhere near a chunk of them. Now, a boatload of them are, and I think 100% of them will, because there's now no rule that you have to pay a commission. That's bad news if you don't know how to handle this when you go out to the appointment. So now it's not even about your sphere of influence wants to list with you. What are you going to say when you get out there and they say, I don't want to pay the buyer's agent? You've got to get trained up on how to handle this because we've got agents doing it every single day. They're doing it the right way. They're setting the stage and they're handling NAR's CCP, right? They're handling that correctly so that they can move forward. Now, a couple other articles that would be helpful for you here, and you guys can see all this stuff on Google. But I think it's very helpful with their clear cooperation policy, and that's the CCP. That's what that stands for, clear cooperation policy. Here we go. Here's one from Inman. You can see the header at the top here. It's time to consider eliminating NAR's clear cooperation policy. Why? Because it's the reason the lawsuit happened in 2019. You know when it started? In 2019. So this article, this is not my opinion, this is the article's opinion, that it's just not worth the hassle anymore. The Department of Justice lawsuit is specifically charging us against this clear cooperation, saying you must put it in the MLS, you must pay another agent, all of that. So now they're saying, okay, you still got to put it in the MLS so we can syndicate it to all these companies and get all the money, but you don't have to pay a commission. That's the change that's recently happened here. And again, this just came out 3 days ago, 4 days ago with Inman. I believe it was. I don't have the date in front of me. But that gives you kind of an example of where the market is. So now it gets to be a little dicier, right? Now it gets a little tougher on what am I going to do when I go out to these appointments so I can address this accordingly. I think it's great news for you. It's going to make it tougher for the competition. I think you will do well. I think this won't affect you at all as long as you handle it the right way. So they're now switching all of that. And again, sellers are starting to pull listings more than we've ever seen before. That's why I started teaching my inner circle coaching members, here's what you need to do and say when you go out there. Because if you just go out your normal way and you give your presentation, and I don't care if you list it at 5, 6, 7, 5.5, whatever it is you charge, commissions are negotiable, charge what you want. If it's not 1 or 2, which who in the hell would do that? If that's not the case, they're going to go to work. They're going to call their brother. They're going to say, hey, we just put our home on the market. And they're going to say, did you have to pay 1% or 2%? Oh, no, you don't have to do that anymore. There was just a big lawsuit. Here, your realtor is screwing you. And you've lost all, you're not going to fight that back down once they spent the whole night thinking they're going to call you tomorrow and cancel this stuff because you scammed them. Just address it when you first go out there. You have to address the commission issue when you meet with the seller. Now, I know if you've been selling for 37 years and you're the top producer in your area, you think you've got this down pat and you know what you're doing. You don't need somebody to tell you how to do this. I'm telling you now you do, because their perception has changed. You have to change what it is that you do. If they sold 7 homes in the past with you, now they believe they can save money because the government is shutting down realtors on charging these crazy fees. That's literally what everyone in the public thinks. Please go to your grocery store, grab somebody by the coat and say, have you heard anything about real estate agents lately? Watch. Every one of it's been on CNBC, it's been on Fox News, it's been on CNN. It doesn't matter which side of the aisle you're on. Everybody is talking about it, and they're talking about it the wrong way. We have to educate our consumers. Well, what do we say? What do we say when we go out there and we meet with these homeowners? Well, they're going to say, well, Greg, I'm telling you, I don't want to pay a buyer's agent. If they want to use a buyer's agent, they can pay them directly. That's fine. You just sign right here. Oh, it's that easy? Yeah, if you want me to tell the whole world you're not willing to pay them to sell your home, that's fine. You're just not going to sell your home. I mean, let me ask you. If you told me that you weren't going to pay me a commission today, what do you think would happen while I'm sitting at your kitchen table? If you said I'm not willing to pay you a commission, what do you think would happen today? Well, you'd probably get up and walk out. Yeah, so what you're doing is you're wanting me to tell all 5,300 realtors in this town that you're not willing to pay them. Even though they have a buyer that'll pay you full price, you saw something online and you believe that's a bet. Do you see how this languaging starts to go? Like, you have to just show them. I'm fine with telling everybody you're not willing to pay them, but what do you think would happen if you told me you wouldn't pay me? What would happen if your boss told you he wasn't going to pay you anymore, that you need to get your money from somebody else? You would leave. It's that simple. And you don't want to be the only one, or you don't want to be 10% of the MLS that's at 0%, because you know what they're going to do? They're going to go to the next house over that is willing to do it the normal way, that wasn't watching the freaking news. Like, that's all there is to it. So you have to have that languaging down, and you must have the conversation with every seller. You have to be the one to bring it up. It should not be them bringing it up during commission negotiations. So if you're working with buyers moving forward from everything that's going on in the market right now, if you're working with buyers, you need a way to get properties for them without depending on other agents in the MLS, without depending on them negotiating a commission for you. That's how top producers have done it for years. They go out and they get their own properties, and they get both sides of the transaction. That's our perfect home finder approach. And frankly, that means that you're focused on getting sellers, which is where you want to be in 2024. That's where you want to be focused. Is if you get a buyer, the only reason you have that buyer is because you can go get 3 or 4 sellers by marketing to find that home for them. That's where the money is at. That's how you're going to get a lot more listings. I know you need to know what to do. You need to know what to say. You need to know what to send out. I understand that. That's what getting trained on this is for. But the first thing and most obvious to attract more business, why should they use you? Give me your elevator pitch. Why should I use you? You're not allowed to say, I care about your business, I'm a really good negotiator. We hear that a lot. I'm a really good negotiator. Like, it just sounds good, I guess, but everybody says the same thing. I've lived here my whole life. I know the area like the back of my hand. All of the things that every realtor says, it doesn't make you unique. If I just repeated your pitch, it's not unique at all. It's what everybody says. Why should I use you? Do you have a good offer that makes them say, I want to use you in lieu of all other options, including using nobody at all? Do you have a good answer for that? Agents shouldn't be stumped on how to convert a prospect when a prospect just says, I'd like to find out how much his house is listed for. What do you say to that? I mean, and by the way, nobody's watching you right now. I want you to say it out loud right now. Let's role play real quick. Nobody can hear you. Hopefully, you're in your house by yourself. Say it out loud so you can hear it. Hi, I'm calling about this home you have listed at 123 Main Street. Can you tell me how much that is? Say your pitch. Yeah, it's listed at $499.9. Is that within your price range? Do you have an agent to help? That's the worst thing you could ever say. Do you have an agent to help? That's like asking a girl that has no interest in you, are you married? Right? She'll say she's lesbian if she has to. She'll do anything so she doesn't have to give you her number. That's a horrible thing to be at. Do you have an agent to rep? Why don't I really need someone to represent me? I'm so glad you. Has that ever happened? As long as you've been licensed, stop asking a question you know is going to turn them off. Let's try it again. I'd like to find out how much his house is listed for. Yeah, let me grab that for you. Are you interested in just this price, or did you want access to pre-market and pre-foreclosure deals too? Now we can hit their greed glands a little bit. Well, Greg, how do I find pre? Now you're asking yourself good questions. Now you're asking me questions that I can actually help you with. Greg, how do I find unlisted homes before they hit the open? Now you've got a good offer, don't you? That even sounds good to you as a real estate agent. Let me give it to you again. We're talking scripts. We're giving you helpful stuff while you're on this webinar. Big surprise for you, by the way. I got a big ass sales pitch for you today. I'm going to sell the shit out of you. Get your credit card ready right now so you can be turned. Oh my gosh, she's getting ready to sell me. And you hate sales even though you're a salesperson. You know what we're going to do? We're going to get you a lot of money today. We're going to get you closing business today. You know how? Learn this stuff. Because someone as simple as saying, can you tell me how much his house is listed for? You don't have the script to convert them. If you use the script, you don't have a way to deliver on that promise. When you say, yeah, let me get that price for you here. Are you interested in just this, or did you also want some info on pre-foreclosure and unlisted homes? Well, how do I find pre-foreclosure and unlisted homes, Greg? That's where we help out. That's why you're here today. You're going to have a better offer so people actually want to use you. And if you get that buyer and you use my letter to go to the neighborhoods they're interested in, you get 3 or 4 listings in that area and business picks up for you. You're in the right spot. You're learning the right way. Get out of your way. Let me help you here. Let me show you how you do this. If you were running a Facebook ad right now, let's say I give you a gift card for Christmas. I give you a $500 Facebook ads gift card. What ad would you run? Advertising's free now. I just gave you $500 in free ads. What ad would you run? Contact me. If you're buying or selling, call me. Hold on, let me put my hand on my chin for. Hold on. Can we do the swirly writing so I look like I'm luxury? Can we put my name in swirls? Can we turn it sideways? What the hell are you advertising? Nobody wants it. So cash is not your problem. Ability to invest in your business is not the problem. You have to fix the offer. Does that make sense? If we have a better offer, like you don't need a picture of yourself. You know what you could put on there? Contact me for unlisted and pre-market homes that match exactly what you're looking for. Tell me what you're looking for, area, price range, even clear down to the neighborhood you want. My marketing team will use a proprietary marketing approach to go out and find sellers that are willing to sell, but they're not yet listed. I cannot send you a link because there isn't one. I cannot send you pictures because there are none. When I take you to that property, there will be no sign in the yard because these are pre-market properties. You got to be pre-approved. You got to meet me at Starbucks at 7 o'clock at night. Now, they will jump through hoops to get what you're looking for here. You don't have that issue anymore that you have now. The problem is people don't want what you have. They don't want you to represent them. You got to find a way to repackage that so you can represent them, so you can do a great job for them. But they don't want it the way you present it to them. That's what we have to work on. If the local newspaper called and said, we're going to give you the front page tomorrow No charge. This would be $50,000. We're going to give you the front page tomorrow, even though they're still selling newspapers and you think they're not. They're selling them in every gas station in America right now. You can have the front page. What are you going to say? Don't tell me your picture and your logo and your email address and your phone number, your office number, your fax number. What the hell are you doing? Have an offer that they can't get anywhere else. If you don't have these answers, you can't win. So that's why when you buy leads, they don't convert. They don't want what you're offering. That's it. Now, if you go back and you look 6 months ago, half of those leads bought a home or sold. Then you go and you buy leads from another source. Oh, well, those leads are no good. I tried Realtor.com. Those leads are no good. I tried Zillow. Those leads are no good. Oh, yeah. You know what? People are just going there and they're putting their personal cell phone number on all these websites because they don't want to buy a house. They just want realtors to call and bother them. Maybe they don't want what you offer. If you go to a singles bar and none of the opposite sex is willing to let you buy them a drink, I promise it's you. I promise. She spent 3 hours getting ready to go out. She didn't know how. Will this make me look fat? Will this make me look skinny? Or should I show a little leg? Is that too much? What should my hair look like? She spent 3 hours trying to attract someone. She just don't want you. So I'm telling you now, if you're generating leads and they're not converting, I promise it's you. They're not filling out their shit online for random salespeople to call them for them to keep saying no, thank you, no, thank you, no, thank you. They just don't want you to represent their best interest, to set them up on a search that they're already getting every day from Zillow. You're like, I can email you as often as one comes on the market. No kidding. I get the same house from 7 different sources every single morning at 5 a.m. 7 different sources send me the same house. Now, do you want to be the 8th one? You have to change your offer. And that's how I help the agents. It has nothing to do with me being some kind of a magician. I show you what to do so you can actually get the kind of results you want because they want what you're offering. You don't have to call them on the phone. Last thing you want to do is call people on the phone. They don't want to talk. Do you want to talk on the phone? Do you like when salespeople call you? No, you'd prefer to see the whole video without them bothering you. You prefer to see the presentation. How can you help me? And the market is changing rapidly, so you have to get good at this right now. Let's go through a numbered list here, and I want to share this with you. I'll open this up where you can take a picture of it. Let's go through a numbered list of some of the biggest problems a lot of agents are having and how you can fix these for 2024. There's 8 items, and I want you to write these down. There's 8 items. Nicole, if you can keep up with the Q&A as we're going through here, and then I'll answer whichever ones are still remaining. Maybe. Here we go. So this should be showing right now that one of the biggest problems for a lot of agents is distraction, right? They're dealing with so many distractions. They're getting tons of emails every day, literally more than 10. I know that sounds crazy because some agents are getting 100 or 150 emails a day. I don't know why you don't hit unsubscribe, including mine, by the way. Please unsubscribe from me if I'm not making you money. Like, you have to get down to 10 emails a day, period. That means you've got to get rid of 90. Distractions are a big problem. Procrastination is a big problem for agents. I'll do it, but I got to do this first. I'm doing this busy work, and then I can get to the profitable work. And the reason for that is they don't know what to say when they get out there. So unknowingly to them, subconsciously, they're sabotaging themselves because they don't know how to handle a commission structure. They don't know how to handle pricing the right way. They don't know how to give a better presentation because the seller's brother is a realtor. Whatever those issues are that you think are a problem, they're easily fixable. Number 3 is a marketing approach. They don't have a solid marketing approach. Number 4, they aren't dealing well with conversion. So the buyers and sellers aren't like, yeah, when can I meet you? If you're not getting that, the offer's no good. Number 5, they don't have the automated funnels in place. The automation to get people to show up for your stuff, to have interest in what it is that you're doing, to automatically convert for you. Just an email sequence that goes out after you get a lead. If it's good enough, they reply. If it sucks, if it's vanilla, if it's basic, they're going to ignore you. You'll be ghosted. You contact them, they don't reply back. That has nothing to do with the lead. They didn't want the shit you offered them. If they want what you offer, they reply. We have to fix that, and that's easily duplicatable with great offers that go out to everybody. Getting your sales copy right, how to do and say the right things to get that type of response you're looking for. If you're doing a bad job at sales copy, if you start your emails with, I hope this email finds you well, what are you doing? That's not how you write sales copy. Number 7 is time management. Time gets away from a lot of people. They always say how busy they are, but they aren't making money. What the hell are you doing? How can you be that busy and not making money? What are you doing that you're not making the kind of money you should? You can't be too busy. It's charity work, whatever it is, because the only other thing other than getting paid for work is you're doing it for charity. It's paid or it's free. So time management is a problem. And then number 8 is a big one, a complete day by day marketing agenda. I want to see tomorrow, January 2nd, what are you doing? What are you implementing to generate the kind of business that you should be generating here? What kind of offers do you have going out there? What kind of follow-up campaigns are in place? If you don't have it written down on a calendar, actually showing us here, this is exactly what I'm doing, you don't have a blueprint for success. I'd write that down. You don't have a blueprint for success. I can look at a blueprint of a house being built. I can pull out the blueprints and know exactly what this thing's going to look like. And when it's done, it's going to look like that. You know how I know? Because whoever's the sales manager, whoever's the leader, whoever's the CEO, the trainer, he's done this dozens and dozens and dozens of times. It's going to come out this way. It's not someone doing it on their own. They actually have the assistance of a pro. That's creating a blueprint for your success. Okay? For most agents, every single one of these issues, all 8 of them, hopefully you wrote them down or you took a picture of it here, every one of them comes down to a lack of specific direction. They don't have the direction that they need. For 2024, you need a better offer. That's your sales pitch. You have a better offer. The reason that they want you. Now, in the meantime, you have to address the commission correctly. You have to address the MLS correctly. You have to address the NAR lawsuit correctly. You got to bring it up. You can't pigeonhole yourself into not talking about it and leave and think, oh my gosh, thank God they didn't bring it up. They're going to go talk to friends, family, and coworkers, and then you're screwed. We're seeing it happen every day. Once you have your offer correct, you then have to know how to advertise that offer to get more clients rolling into you consistently. That's the key factor, is how do you get more clients rolling into you consistently? We hear from agents every single day, this is their number one problem, no business blueprint. No business blueprint. Write that down. You know, I've got my personal assistant that works with me right here in the office, Teresa. Some of you have spoken with Teresa. She's the only human on the planet that works right here with me every single day. So she's really like the connector between me and the agents that I'm working one-on-one with or I'm working at a higher level with. She is the right hand. And the one thing we hear all the time from agents, when they start working with me, they just try various things. They've depended on their sphere of influence. 90% of their business is coming from past clients and referrals, and they don't know why every year their business is about the same. It went up a little bit because rates went down, and then it goes down a little bit because rates go up, and they don't understand why that's happening. And we have this conversation all the time. If we fix the offers, they start making a lot more money, and whoever's actively buying and selling right now, you get that business this month. The sphere of influence, the past clients, the friends and family, that's icing on the cake, but you gotta have some cake too. It's the number one problem that we see. So I want you to have a phenomenal offer for each niche that you're working. We need to have the unlisted and pre-market homes letter, right? We send that out. We need to have a FSBO approach. We need to have an expired approach, that 4-page letter that we use to expires. There's finally expireds in your marketplace now. We need to have an offer for each one of those. The James letter that we use, it says, once you get a buyer and they're like, how do you find the unlisted homes? I use the James letter. I send it out. It gets a lot of sellers from that neighborhood to call me. I have to handle the call right because they're calling to find a reason not to meet. Let me show you the James letter, by the way. Let me pull that up here. I'll show you exactly what it looks like. So what we do, nothing's held back for you here. I told you I'd be helping you today. I'm going to sell the hell out of you today too. You want to see a good sales pitch, you better watch. You're trying to get better at sales, you better watch what we're doing here. But I'm giving you stuff too. I'm showing you how to use this. This is the letter that we send out to the neighborhood that shows them, hey, I know you probably think this is some kind of ploy or something, but I literally have a buyer that wants to buy in your area. If you scan this QR code, you'll see a quick video about the buyer that's buying in your area. He's already pre-approved. He's looking to buy. He's willing to pay full market value for your home. It's just an easier way for you to sell your property at full market value. Please call me if you're interested. We give you an outline on how to use the video, everything that you need. I started using this with our agents over 3 years ago, and they're getting phenomenal results. So when you're sitting there and you're saying, well, Greg, how do you find unlisted homes? We use these little rolls we have here. They're called postage stamps. And we use envelopes. And we send out 100 of them. And we get 3, 4, 5 sellers that contact us back and say, you got somebody named James that's looking to buy my area. Is this real, or are you just trying to get some listings? Well, it's real for one house because he can only buy one, but the 2 or 3 he doesn't buy, I will be trying to list those. If you are looking to sell, he may give you full price. If not, maybe I can get 10 buyers that are interested. You got to know how to handle that call. You got to know how to handle that face-to-face. But understand, if you don't get trained up on this, you will get a lot of calls from sellers that say they want to sell it to James, and you'll be like, why the hell didn't I get to meet with them? Why did they kill the deal on the phone? We've done this about 17,000 times so far. I can show you what to do and say. This is how you start attracting more business. You are the matchmaker. No more of that MLS crap. That's been struggling enough, right? We've been, I wrote 7 offers on 7 different houses and my buyer didn't get the home. Stop. You don't have to do that. Use the James letter. Know what to do with FSBOs. Know what to do with expireds. Very simple approach. New construction. We do well with new construction. Here, let me show you here. Let me show you some Facebook ads we're using. We've got agents that are generating leads for less than $2 each. Let me explain this to you. If you suck at conversion and 99 of 100 leads don't work with you, they hang up on you, they ghost you, but 1 of 100 do, you're paying $200 a closing? I'll give you the 200. You pay me a referral fee. It's easy if you have a good offer. Let me show you a couple of examples here on Facebook ads. Again, giving you as much as we can here. Take a picture of this. You're welcome to copy it today for your own business. Brand new houses are being liquidated to clear out inventory. Well, Greg, where do you find liquidations? If I sell you my cell phone, I'm liquidating it. I'm turning it into money. I've got an energy drink here, my favorite kind of energy drink, Uptimes. If I sell this to you, I'm liquidating it. That's what I'm doing. It sounds like I'm giving it away at a penny on the dollar. No, I'm liquidating it. If I sell some stocks tomorrow, which I'll be doing since it's a new year, if I sell some stocks tomorrow, I'll be liquidating those stocks. I'm not selling them at a discount. I'm selling them at a huge profit, but I'm liquidating my stocks. Words mean things. They generate response for us. Don't say new houses are being sold. Well, hell, they already knew that. Okay? New houses are being turned into cash. That's what's happening. Very good ad there. What do you think the 3 rooms in a house that turn on a woman are? When she's going through her house, these are the 3 things that make her want to buy this house. What are they? Look at the pictures. Kitchen, bathroom, closets. You know, we have about an 82 to 85% female response on this picture here. 82 to 85. I don't think guys would, like, they want to see pictures of the garage, right? But 82 to 85% of the leads we get are female from this particular ad. Now, if we change it and we just put the new construction picture on there, it switches, right? Words mean things. Images mean things. They elicit certain things in their mind. Everybody wants a beautiful kitchen. They want a huge organized closet. They want a beautiful bathroom with a clawfoot tub. They want all of those things. You have to know how to market that correctly if it's available in your area. Again, this is how we do it. Now, what's our offer? Contact me for the best 2 floor plans of the best 5 builders in town. That's the offer. That's the package we send to them. I have to physically mail it to them, which means I get their address so I can see that 50% of them own a home that they'll be selling before they buy new construction. I have a conversion approach in place to make this work for us. This is how you grow your business. You have better offers that they're like, hey, I want to get the best 2 floor plans of the top 5 builders in town. Well, that's just an opinion. It's my opinion, but it's just an opinion. That's how you grow your business here. So you have to have good offers. So look, you already know I crush it on Facebook, and our top agents do too, right? Like run an ad, you can run free ads on Marketplace and do very, very well. I do trainings on this all the time. Getting this part right, you attract lots of business. What about attorneys? Getting referrals from divorce attorneys, probate attorneys, IRS attorneys. They're meeting people every single week that need to sell their home. How do you get in touch with them? You cannot stay in survival mode. I got to tell you, like agent to agent, two closings a month is not going to cut it for you. It might be enough for you to barely pay your bills and to get by, but you know you are not getting any younger and you have to build a significant net worth for yourself. You need to make more than your budget needs. So if your monthly budget needs are $6,000 a month and you make $6,000 a month, congratulations, you will be doing this until you're 107. But if your bills are $6,000 a month and you start making $12,000 a month, if you do that every month for 5 years, you can only retire for 5 years. You're going to run out of money. So you need to make a hell of a lot more. I've become extremely well known for helping agents to immediately pay off their debts and start building a significant net worth for themselves. I'm the no BS coach that shows you how to attract a lot more business very quickly here. So those that don't evolve, they will see their business shrinking. This year in 2024, with all the changes that are happening, you're going to be going out and you'll be that close to a $15,000 seller, a $15,000 commission, and you screwed up the conversation. You screwed up the presentation. You screwed up the preemptive strikes that we take so that the objection never comes up in the first place. I want agents to be prepared and, more importantly, capitalize on this great washing of the masses that we're going to see here. I want you to profit tremendously. But you've got to have strong offers. You've got to have strong marketing campaigns. You have to know what to do and say on the phone, on email, particularly text message these days, and more importantly, face-to-face. When you meet with these prospects, you have to know what to say. You can start with the free stuff. You can start with free marketing. So you can't say, Greg, I'm not real good with technology. I'm not real good with money. I screwed up the video before we started today. Like, none of that stuff matters. You don't need to have a bunch of money. You don't need to have a bunch of technology skills. You don't need any of that stuff. You need trained on better off. We're using stamps. You need to know how to use a printer. It's a very simple approach, and it's generating millions of dollars. You obviously know what we're talking about today is happening in today's market. You can't be licensed but not practicing. There's an awful lot of agents that are licensed, learning like you wouldn't believe, every day learning stuff, getting on webinars just like this. They probably got 3 more today. They're just learning like crazy. You're not earning. You need to learn and then drop the L. You can't be licensed and not practicing, or only practicing when a past client or a sphere of influence needs help. I want this to be a huge year for you. And frankly speaking, half of the first quarter is already gone. Today's January 1st. Half of the first quarter. You aren't closing anything extra before Valentine's Day. Stop it. Stop. Maybe one. Stop. You're not closing anything else. If you pick up a client today, they are not closing before Valentine's Day. The first quarter is halfway gone. Tell me about a New Year's resolution in January. You should have told me that in November. So we can get you making money, but you know when the next best time to plant a tree is? Today. To actually start attracting that business. But you have to get rid of distractions and procrastination. You have to get rid of this stupid side hustle idea that you had, that maybe I can make a little money on this until interest rates come back. Do you know what happens when interest rates go down? Home prices go up. That's what happens. Nobody in the world got a 3% interest rate. I don't know why you think that. They didn't get a 3% interest rate unless they paid $50,000 more than the house was worth. That's how they got a 3% interest rate. Guess what happens when we go down to 5% again? People start paying $20,000 more than the house is worth. That's the market that we're in. You have to know that's the case. I don't want to hear some crap about home prices are going to drop. Are you kidding me? When they drop rates 3 times in 2024 is what they're estimating. When rates start to come down, do you really think home prices are going to go down because more people qualify? We already don't have enough inventory out there. I ain't worried about the MLS. I find my own inventory. Our agents are finding their own. They're handling both sides of the transaction. It's fair for both parties, and we're not dealing with multiple offer situations. The seller gets exactly what they want, the buyer gets exactly what they want, and I don't have to co op with the idiots in the marketplace. You get to handle your own business. If anything falls apart, it's your fault because you handled all of it. That's where I want you to be in your business. If you've got a very specific path, if you have a good marketing campaign, let me show you one we put together in November for the month of December. This agent that's using this has 7 closings in January. That's okay. It's not great, but it's okay. I wanted to show you this here as a sample. And a lot of this won't make sense to you, by the way, but I wanted to show you an example of a marketing campaign we put together. If I can figure out how to share my screen. And you may want to take a picture of this. But this is how simple this is. No technology or anything. It's literally handwritten with this ink pen. It's handwritten on a piece of paper. And she actually followed this agenda, and she has 7 deals closing in the month of January. So this is a marketing campaign that we created for her. I don't recommend you use this. There's a lot of stuff on here you won't do. But this is a very simple approach for literally December of 2023 that was put in place to generate 7 deals. Every one of the deals is from what you see here. No sphere of influence. No, had some deals from October that got carried over. 7 transactions specifically from this. Didn't work Christmas, but worked the rest of it. So, how are you using this? What does your blueprint, what does your agenda look like? Can you do it free? Can you do it for very little cost? Maybe you need 1 or 2 rolls of stamps. Do you have the ability to create that for yourself? And how does tomorrow look for you? January 2nd, what do you have in place for January 2nd to make the kind of money that you want to make here? So you have to have a solid marketing agenda. We need to decide on which offers you should use, what campaigns you should start with based on your situation, your finances, your lack of credit or cash you have available, your lack of technology you have available. What's the best path for you individually? Getting several clients in contract will get rid of all of that time wasting you have, all of that illusion of movement, studying, trying to learn stuff, feeling like you're getting smarter. You ain't gonna have time for all that. You're doing deals. That's where I want you to be. You have to get better at conversion. This all ties into the offers you have because you're going to be getting higher response rates. I want you to be really good at conversion as well. The sales copy you use, that stuff matters. What you do and say, what you type, what you speak, what you say face to face, that matters. It's about saying the right things to get the right response. And let me tell you, I don't care who your brokerage is, your broker individually in your own office, they have not seen enough appointments to know what's going wrong here, what the seller's perception is, and how we need to adjust our presentations to deal with this NAR situation that's all over Google, it's all over the news, it's all over their news feed, it's all over everything. The broker isn't ready for that. They're 1 or 2 years behind having the right conversations. We're already doing it. All this stuff is required for you to truly have your best year in real estate. I'm telling you now, 2024 is going to be a disaster for 25% of real estate agents. I'm telling you now, well, I've been doing this for a quarter of a century. 2024 will be a nightmare for agents that aren't prepared for what we're dealing with now. We're already seeing that they didn't prepare it right. They got the listing, and then the seller's pissed off. And then you can't fix it after they're already mad and think you've scammed them. You can't then teach them the truth. You should have done that beforehand so they know what to say to their friend, their coworker, or whatever. You have to get good at sales. You know, one of the best quotes I ever heard, I heard just in December, just before Christmas, I heard a quote from Alex Hormozi. A lot of you know Alex Hormozi. He's really blown up big here lately. He said, if you get upset when you see people selling, then good luck trying to sell. If you turn stuff off when you're like, here comes the sales pitch, if that's who you are, good luck trying to sell. Because you have a bad relationship with like the top producers, they subscribe to everything. I'm telling you, I'm up every Saturday morning watching paid commercials for the slicer dicer. How do they upsell? How can you get the order bump? How do you conquer all their objections? How is this different than the last one that you had? That's called sales training. For those of you that don't know the backstory, by the way, Alex did the greatest book launch of all time. He gave over 2 hours of extremely helpful content, like so good training, absolutely amazing on a live Zoom. Then the second he started selling something, thousands of people got upset in the chat. Oh, you're just like, here comes the sales pitch. You're just like the rest of them. They were very uncomfortable watching the sales pitch. And then they realized they made a huge mistake. It was a mic drop, huge mistake, creating massively successful people now. What has happened since that was in October, November? He's now talking about it in December. What happened in October, November created massively successful people, but losers are going to continue losing. If you have a bad relationship with sales, the second that someone starts selling something, thousands of people get upset in the chat. They're very uncomfortable watching. Think about this. If you're in sales, you absolutely want to watch every single sales presentation you can see. Otherwise, you have a problem with your internal conversation about sales in general. This year, all this year, you need to think about why you feel that way and what you need to adjust so you can learn about sales. I want you to go to the county fair. I want you to go see people that are selling the cookware. I want you to go to meet a timeshare rep, to meet a car salesman, to go to the luxury car sale, to go to Airbnb presentations, whatever it is. Learn how to sell. Be curious from those that are already making millions of dollars doing what you want to do. Now, I can tell you, I can look at your blueprint for 2024, and within 10 minutes of questioning you, I can know approximately how much money you're going to make this year. If I look at your blueprint, what you have, and I ask you a few questions about these, within 10 minutes, I will know about how much money you're going to make this year. And by the way, if you don't have a blueprint, you know how much you're going to make? Hopefully what you made last year. That's what you're going to make. Thousands of times around this country, I've created a complete blueprint for an agent in a one-day presentation. Many of you know I do those blueprint days. We're completely sold out for the next 2 months, but they spend a full day with me in person here in Columbus, Ohio, or online. I do some blueprint days on Zoom where we're one-on-one, and I go over tons and tons of questions, find the best opportunities within their marketplace, and then we lay out a marketing plan that makes sense for them. What niche do you want to work? What kind of clients do you want? What kind of money do you need to make? What are you comfortable doing? So we can create something that makes sense that you actually stick with. There's nothing better than having a complete marketing blueprint that you can follow to attract and close the number of clients that you're looking for. And do that on a monthly basis. It's the ultimate example of starting from nothing, getting the income you need. That's called bootstrapping your business, to make hundreds of thousands of dollars if that's what you desire. Anyone can start from a bootstrap position and get their business going. So when you understand the offers, the conversion approach, the financials around how you make this happen, if you're starting with free ads or free marketing, it's incredibly empowering for where you're going with your business. Now, here's the problem. First of all, my blueprint days fill up quickly. It's me. I literally handle it myself. I'm completely sold out for January. I'm completely sold out for February. It's over $10,000 when you include your travel expense. It's over $10,000 to do it. For most agents, it's just not attainable, period. You just can't do it. And we stay booked about 3 months out on those. But, I mean, after all, a complete business model isn't cheap. It's just profitable, right? It's not cheap at all. It's just profitable. But once per year, I do a group blueprint day where we take a small number of agents through group presentation of specific offers and approaches that are working really well. And then I work with you one-on-one to customize it to you and your own business. Because the fact is, like, I've got, 7 or 8 blueprint days coming up. Every one of them, I kind of go through the same presentation. Here's the offers, the universal foundational principles that we use. I kind of do the same thing. So once a year, we do a group blueprint day. It makes it a lot more affordable for everybody. And I take everybody through the same process. And then I do an individual Zoom with them to say, okay, now you know all of that. Let's put this to paper. Let's have a campaign that works for you so we can get you making lots of money. So we do that once per year. We decide on the best approaches for you individually. We have a one-on-one together where I'll plan all of this out with you. and you can sell more real estate than you've ever sold before. Now, in this training, we go over not only what's working, but where the market is going and how to capitalize on it. You guys remember Wayne Gretzky, his famous quote, I don't skate to where the puck is, I skate to where the puck is going to be. That is certainly the case here. Now, I've been here before, this type of market, I'm 100% confident with how we're adjusting for this market as well. The results speak for themselves. I don't believe there's any other coach on the planet that's documenting what they're doing to create millionaires in real estate sales. I don't think there's anybody else doing it. Walking them across the stage, they get a certified letter from their CPA showing there's zero debt and they have a net worth of over $1 million. I don't think anybody else is doing it. So I believe that while there's going to be massive numbers of people leaving, you can have their lunch. If you build the right blueprint, you will make a lot more money. This is your chance to spend a full day with me working specifically on your business, your offers, your marketing campaigns, so you can learn and implement what works. And the cool part is we're doing it over Zoom. So we're going to do a group blueprint day, a group presentation, full day, and then you will have a one-on-one with me. That's why we're keeping it in small group. And with all the prices of everything going up and inflation being outrageous for the last few years and all that stuff, you'll be shocked to know we actually reduced the investment of the group blueprint day because I know that we're dealing with an economic winter. There's an awful lot of agents that need to fix their business or they're going to be that bottom 25%. There's already 100,000 gone. There will be an additional 150,000 or more gone from the business. I want that to be an opportunity for you. It's not going to be you. You're going to take action to fix your business. So what I'm going to do is actually build your customized blueprint as follows. If you're fast enough to get one of these spots here, and my team's going to drop a link for you in just a second, so be ready because you already know this stuff goes quickly. It will be gone, just as our event is full today. That will be gone. You and I are going to have a group blueprint day next Wednesday. Write this down, January 10th. Not in 2 days, next Wednesday, January 10th. I've got a very specific talk and training session that I put every single agent through every time I meet with them one-on-one. We're going to do that in a group session in a very extensive step-by-step approach. It's all day. We start at 10 a.m. We'll probably go till 3 p.m. That's Eastern time, just like today. We started at 2 today Eastern. We're going to start at 10 a.m. Eastern, and it goes till about 3 o'clock. Now, tomorrow, on Tuesday, for those of you that get a spot quick enough, I'm going to send you an extensive questionnaire so that I know everything I need to know about your situation. I just ask that you be honest with me. I'm going to create a turnaround. I'm 100% confident I'm going to get you where you need to be. I just need you to be honest with me about your current situation. What are your expenses? What are your debts? What's your net worth? What's working well for you? What hasn't worked well? What do you think is a big opportunity in your area? What niches do you like? I have a ton of questions I'm going to ask you, and you have over a week to get those back to me. You're going to get those questions tomorrow in preparation for Wednesday's group call. It doesn't matter if you're brand new in the business and you have nothing, or you've been doing this 40 years and you have a big team and 3 people work for you and you got them on different commission splits and all that. It doesn't matter. This is customized to you. I don't care if you got your license yesterday. I'll show you what you need to do to build this out. I've done this for years and years with agents that have been licensed 30 years and needed a revamp of their business. Again, we'll be doing this as a customized blueprint. So we do this group day next Wednesday. Then we will schedule a one-on-one where you and I will be live on Zoom together, or I will call you from this cell phone, whichever is more comfortable for you. You can see me face-to-face on Zoom, and we're going to build out your blueprint based on what you've covered. I'll lay out what you need to do in 2024, how you start if you have no money or very little money, no tech skills, and we'll discuss your marketing blueprint. We will then schedule a one-on-one call together, which again, we can do over phone or we can do over Zoom here, okay? Now, you get this entire group blueprint day for one payment. Nicole's going to drop this in the chat here so you guys can race for this. It's one payment of $1,995. That's not even a referral fee on one deal from the whole damn year. You're going to get a full marketing blueprint. Revamp your offers, revamp your scripts, revamp your email campaigns, have the right niches that you're working with. And Nicole just put that in the chat here. Hopefully it's up. Let me see here over in the chat. Yeah, you should be able to click on that right there. And what you're going to see, you can grab your spot for this, and these spots are very limited. Let me pull this up and I'll share it with you. These spots are very limited because you're dealing with me. This is not going to be another assistant or a coach or anything like that you're working with. You will physically meet with me. So you need to hurry up and grab your spot for this. We will do a group blueprint day on December 10th, or I'm sorry, January 10th, and then we will do a one-on-one as well. So grab your spot for this right now. This is what you need to do to get a slot for this while it is still available, and they will go very quickly. Again, it's one payment of $1,900.